Hi, thank you for downloading this podcast. This is just an added extra that I've added on right at the beginning of this podcast because Kevin Matthews, our franchisee covering South Lancashire area, Preston, has just been on Radio 5 Live and chatting on national radio, BBC, talking about his experiences. He's just started with us recently, bought an existing business, and good on him. Thank you, Kevin. It comes across really well, so please listen to this and then we'll have the proper start of the podcast. Thanks, bye.
Kevin in Preston. You worked in retail, I hear.
I worked in retail for 9 years. I was a retail store manager, which is a pretty tough place to be these days. And I found myself working more and more hours with fewer and fewer staff, with lots more pressure. And to be honest, the reward for success in growing the business was simply to keep your job. You can see the way retail was changing. So like a lot of your callers, I sort of decided to have a look and thought, could I really still be doing this job in 20 years' time? And decided, no, I'll be a heap on the floor if I still do it in 20 years' time. So knew I had to make a change. So became self-employed, buying a franchise business, although I consider it to be self-preservation.
Okay, so what's the franchise doing exactly?
It's called Barking Mad, although some of my previous employers thought that was to describe me when I told them what I was doing. But I organise home-from-home holidays for dogs now. So basically, I arrange holidays for dogs to stay with host families while their owners are away as an alternative to kennels.
I see. Is it cheaper? Of course, then for those who really love their dogs, they can check that you can check that it's a really happy home where they'll be happy. Is that the idea?
That's right. We text the owners while the dog's on holiday to let them know all is fine and give them postcards and pictures when they get back, so they have peace of mind that their dog's had a lovely holiday with a loving host family, as an alternative, as I say, to staying in traditional kennels.
You had to buy the franchise, so it's cost you money. Is this going to be worthwhile?
It is, and I wanted to run my own business, but couldn't afford to sort of set something up outright. So franchising is perhaps sometimes a forgotten but really good option for people. But actually, the costs weren't too high because it doesn't involve having premises or lots of stock. It just involved me getting a new car and paying for my training. And I was already a customer of the business myself with my own dog, so knew it really well from a customer side. And it was literally, I got back from a holiday and was not looking forward to going back to pressure. And the existing owner said, well, actually, I'm thinking of selling to move on. So it was just a fantastic opportunity.
And it's all right, is it? It's going to work?
Yeah, I'm earning less than I was in my full-time job before. But it's got scope to grow, and even when I'm busy, I can still work it around my lifestyle. My wife still works full-time Monday to Friday as well, and she's really supportive. But together we've actually found more time with each other again as well. So it really was a lifestyle choice, but it hasn't had to mean big risks, if you like. But it's nice now that I work hard. If I grow the business, I get the reward. If it's tough, then it's tough on me, but it's a new motivation. But as I say, if the sun shines in the morning, I can take the dog for a walk and do the admin in the afternoon. It's a wonderful balance.
Thank you very much. That's Kevin in Preston in the dog days of his career.
Hello, thank you for downloading this podcast or listening online. Today's podcast, we're just going to run through some archive footage. It's not that old, it's just about a year ago, where we asked some of our franchisees just to chat frankly about their experience. So we're going to run through those. They're fairly detailed, but light-hearted as well. So hopefully you'll enjoy them. First up, we've got Alec Cow, and he was running the business in Scotland with his wife. They have actually just successfully sold their business, and it was big enough to run into two territories actually, because they were running it together, but they've sold it to two new separate franchisees. You can find out about that on our website. But hopefully you'll enjoy them. Alec just chatting very nicely and frankly, and eloquently about his experience with Barking Mad.
Hello, my name is Alec Cow. My wife Chris and I have been Barking Mad for 6 years now. We're in our 7th. Our territories are Perthshire, Clackmannanshire and Fife in Scotland. Massive territory, wonderful scenery and terrific customers and hosts, and of course dogs. One of my favourite Barking Mad customers is a dog called Darcy. Darcy comes from the USA. She's a golden retriever and she is just such a gem when she comes out on her holidays. She just thrives and her confidences have grown remarkably over the past few years. Wonderful dog. The reason we selected Barking Mad as a franchise was based on, one, its reputation. That was very important to us. But also we had hosted for Barking Mad after the loss of our own boxer dog, and we had, I think, some advantaged insights into the ethics of the company and the way it operated, and we felt that that was a very, very good business model for us. A typical day with Barking Mad involves meeting customers. They're dog owners, so generally speaking, they're people that we instantly relate to. A typical day involves meeting hosts, and they're the most wonderful people in the world. They make our business tick. And a typical day is meeting dogs. We love them. But no 2 days are alike, and that's a very, very appealing factor in a Barking Mad franchise. When we decided to go the franchise route rather than set up our own business, we did this because we felt that Barking Mad, with its reputation, would be able to offer us backup service second to none. Training in the beginning was excellent, and it's still there. It's there whenever you need it. Head office staff are very, very willing, very competent, very able, and move swiftly to resolve issues should they arise. I don't think we could easily have reinvented the wheel of starting a business on our own as easily as we did and as successfully as we have. Barking Mad's a very personalised organisation. It is run very professionally, but like a family business. We love coming down for our conferences and our meetings and any opportunity to get together with our co-franchisees and our head office staff. As a matter of fact, my wife Chris and I took a holiday just a few weeks ago, not far from Barking Mad's head office, and we invited one of the girls out for a meal just to see how things were going and catch up. A very, very personalised business. When Chris and I started Barking Mad, we realised that she came from a background of social care, I came from a background of commerce and industry. And we were lacking in an awful lot of the basic skills that were needed, maybe other than judgment and maturity. We learned quickly. We learned how to download photographs and how to do stuff on PCs. We then had to work out who would do what, and we share our jobs. I have tasks that I do because I prefer them and Chris doesn't, and vice versa. Organisation. Information has to be passed on accurately and in a balanced way, and the work gets done. Barking Mad's brand is very important. It's one of the most memorable two-word names that you could come across. Supporting the brand from a franchisee point of view is vital. Reputation is everything in our business. Word of mouth referrals far exceed almost any other type of new customer coming on board, or host for that matter. Its reputation is second to none. I certainly can speak for our area, and I know my Scottish colleagues would all say the same, that there is competition, but there's no real competition. Barking Mad stands alone. I think Barking Mad brings so many rewards. When you see the smiles widen and brighten on the face of hosts, when you bring an absolutely crazy, happy dog into their lives for a few days or a couple of weeks, and it's learning from your hosts what the dogs got up to and how much they enjoyed it and what they stole and took to the garden or whatever it may be. It's all part of the fun that dogs have when they come out on holiday, and hosts get such a reward and customers really do get peace of mind.
Great. Well, wasn't that nice? Thank you, Alec, for that. I forgot to mention that Alec and Chris won Barking Mad 2013 Franchisee of the Year at the 10th Annual Barking Mad Conference in the Lake District. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Jennifer. So Jennifer Hamer, she runs her business with her sister Carolyn down in Newton Abbot, down South Devon. And she, again, will just chat about her experience with Barking Mad. You can find out all about her on her website. She's got a golden retriever called Sydney, and her sister Carolyn has a Doberman and a Springer, and they love running their Barking Mad business, so enjoy.
I'm Jennifer. I'm Jennifer Hamer. I run the Plymouth and Torbay franchise of Barking Mad. I've been going now since January 2008, so nearly up to 5 years, and I run the business with my sister Carolyn. A typical day with Barking Mad, I don't think there is one. Most days are totally different, but they run on the same sort of length, same wavelength, maybe meeting a new customer and their dog, meeting a new host. That would be great to do a new customer and a new host on the same day. Collecting a couple of dogs from various places. We've got a fair bit of driving to do, and taking them on their holiday, direct to the host, chatting with the host, having a cup of tea with the host, generally having a good time. I chose Barking Mad because I used to have a very mundane job, which I think I'd done for too long. Heard about Barking Mad through the Radio 2 on the Chris Evans show when it was on drive time. Thought it was just sounded like the perfect job. Phoned immediately, got the pack, and I've never looked back. It's been absolutely brilliant. The team at head office, the support is absolutely brilliant. Personally, I would never have been able to start a business on my own. I wouldn't have had any of the ideas that they come up with, or the support, the legal side of everything. They're just there at the end of the phone or email anytime you have a problem. Don't get many problems at all, but I know they're there 24 hours a day should something go wrong, and it really very rarely does go wrong. The contact centre is brilliant. I was a bit apprehensive before they came on board, thinking, I can do this, why do I need them? But when you're busy in the summer months and you're just out from beginning in the morning to late afternoon, knowing that they're taking all your calls, booking in your existing customers, converting potentially new customers, I now know I couldn't do without them. Customers come to us from lots of different ways, through the internet, through recommendation, and we just really love the ones that are come through recommendation, because it just proves that we're doing such a great job. We work out percentages, and they come different ways, but the ones that a previous customer or present customer recommends somebody else is definitely the best way. We obtained a new customer with a dear little pug called Dookie. Now, Dookie had gone to kennels a couple of times before, and as everybody knows, pugs have really curly wee tails, like little piglets, and Dookie, when he went to kennels the previous time, came back with a straight tail. And took 10 days for Dookie's tail to go back curly after being in the kennels. Dookie's mum was talking to one of our customers. Our customer said, oh, try Barking Mad, you'll have a great time. And Dookie has been out with us since the beginning of 2012. He's been out about 6 times. Every time goes back with a curly tail. But with my business, the day-to-day running of it, with the accounts and anything else, then Nikki and Lee and Emma and Fiona, they're just great support. So anything to do with accounts, it's ring Fiona if I've got any queries, and all the other girls, they just really help me out with any problems that I might have day-to-day running of the business. When I started the business, I did think this would most probably be me until I retire. 5 years down the line, I still feel that way. I was ecstatic when I started, and I still think it's possibly the best job in the world. I can actually say to people, I really do have that job, which previously I didn't think existed. People are always saying to me, you've got a great job, and I have to sit there and say, yes, I do. And I'm not quite at retirement age yet, but I think the business will carry me through to when I'm in a position or feel the time has come for me to retire.
Great. Well, that was really lovely. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much for those nice comments. Next up is Alison Gledhill. She has been with us for many years, very experienced. She, in fact, won Franchisee of the Year in 2011. And again, you can find out more about her on the website, barkingmad.uk.com. Alison runs a business by herself, and she looks after the Blackpool and Preston areas. And she's got two lovely dogs, Flirty, her beloved Lhasa Apso, I think that's right, and Gracie, her lovable Westie. So I hope you enjoy, and you can listen to Alison.
I'm Alison Gledhill, and I run the Blackpool and Preston franchise. I'm working on my own, and I'm now in year 8.
We should do it again because someone dropped a huge
Yeah, the kitchen is above us, essentially. So,
I thought it was cymbals applauding there. Okay.
Yeah, away we go.
I'm Alison Gledhill, and I run the Blackpool and Preston franchise. I run the franchise on my own, and I'm now trading in year 8. For me personally, I spent 22 years in public sector and then was looking to do something different. I wanted to get a better work-life balance to my day and to my career. And now I find that I can work from home, I'm in control of my day, I'm in control of my diary. I've got more time with my dogs at home. I can plan my day, my diary is my responsibility, and it's up to me, it's only down to me. A typical day, I suppose one of the things with Barking Mad is there is no typical day. Every day is different. It can be busy in the summer, it can be quieter in the winter, but either way there's always phone calls to answer, customers to see or to speak to, hosts to think about or to plan for dogs that they've got coming out over the next few weeks or few months, and there's always the paperwork to catch up with. So there is a lot of things that are going on, but every day is definitely varied. Looking forward at the next 12 months, it's been a case of planning what I want to achieve with the business. I've had a look at what I've taken in terms of turnover this last 12 months and where I want to be in the next 12 months. And to achieve that, I've had to look at how I want to increase the business in terms of extra customers coming in, what additional hosts I want on board to be able to achieve that, and just really plan out how I'm going to market the business so that I can get to where I want to be in a 12 months time. In terms of looking at what I want my target to be in 12 months time and over the next 12 months, I had in mind where I wanted to take the business and discussed that with the Barking Mad operations manager, and we sat down and looked at the figures and we looked at how we could go about achieving that. So it was really how I wanted to take the business forward, but with input from Barking Mad about how best to achieve where I wanted to get to with the business. Right, in terms of growth over the next year, the key things that I've had to look at is really how to achieve that growth. And to be able to do that, obviously there's a need for additional customers and additional repeat business. But to achieve that, it's really keeping customers that are currently with Barking Mad involved in what's happening and what's going on. So keeping them informed via newsletters, via social media, keeping them aware of what's happening and keeping them informed of what's going on, and a reminder that Barking Mad is still there and it still exists. Of course, to be able to take on new customers and to carry on with the repeat business, there is a need to retain the same number of hosts that I've got at the moment, but also take on new hosts. So it's vital to grow the business by getting new hosts so that I can accommodate more dogs. And with that, it's a lot of the business that comes through is through referrals. So a lot of those customers and hosts do refer on people that they know who have heard what a wonderful service it is, and they want to use it and want to hear more about it. So it's contacting those people and also marketing to keeping the marketing going not only to that audience but also to a new audience through local media as well, and really getting the word out there about Barking Mad. There's never an end to how many people you can tell about Barking Mad, so there's always something that can be done and people that can be told about it. Yeah, being part of Barking Mad, there is a network of other Barking Mad franchisees out there. I think we're currently over 60, probably approaching 70 franchisees. And so you never actually feel like you're on your own. There's always somebody to turn to, a colleague to speak to. In many ways, yeah, sometimes it's great to work with neighbouring franchisees, and that's happened in the summer when I've worked with a colleague who runs a neighbouring franchise, and we've run shows together, got the word out there about Barking Mad. Similarly, everyone's contactable across the country, up in Scotland, down on the south coast, across the whole of the network. So it's easy to pick up the phone and to speak to somebody about what's going on and to really thrash out an idea or to get their opinions on what they're doing and ideas and suggestions for what I can do in my franchise. Similarly, I've also been a part of the area group meetings, which brings together representatives, about half a dozen representatives from across the country, and we get together with Barking Mad head office and talk about what's going on, what the general feeling is, suggest ideas for what things we can do to improve the brand and take things forward, and also feed the ideas back from head office back to the rest of the network so that everybody's up to speed with what the latest information is. To talk about my favourite customers, my favourite dogs, it's so difficult. Having run Barking Mad for 8 years now, I've got so many favourites. Some that have been with me since the very beginning, and I've seen them grow from puppies into adult dogs, and also some of the older dogs that have grown into senior dogs. So there really are so many lovely dogs that are coming through. And similarly, before I started running Barking Mad, breeds of dogs that I'd never really thought about as dogs that were something that I was drawn to, actually seeing them, seeing their personalities, it really does draw you to them, and you can see that all breeds have got something to offer. Being part of Barking Mad, it does give me the opportunity to be in control of my day and to be in control of my business. And my business succeeds or fails based on my endeavours and what I do. So I feel in control of what I'm doing and what I'm taking forward.
Thank you, Alison. I must say that we, just to tell you, we recorded those in Plato's downstairs. It's a hotel and restaurant in Kirkby Lonsdale where you come to stay if you come and see us. And there were a bit of noise and things, and I left some of the outtakes in there because I thought it was funny. Okay, we're going to leave it there for today. Thank you very much for listening. If you'd like to listen to some more, there's some more podcasts that you could subscribe to, either on iTunes or you'll find them on our blog on the Barking Mad website. You can find us at facebook.com/BarkingMadDogCare. You can follow us on Twitter at BarkingMadHQ, and generally just keep in touch with things that we're up to. Please keep listening and recommend us to anybody you think might be interested. Okay, thank you. Bye.